Hello, everyone. just started, ready to go. SMEs Mobile Strategies. Marco Montemagno here with you, and today we have a great day. We have 4 sessions, and we'll talk about a lot of topics related with mobile, of course. And our first guest from AppsBuilder, Krista McLandress. Hi, Krista. How are you?
Hi, Marco. I'm great. Thanks.
So we basically all the time together, because or we do interviews to the guests together, or you have a presentation. So it's a great thing not only to have to fire some question to the speakers, but also to go deep into a topic and teach us something about the mobile sector. So what's the topic you will talk about today?
Yeah, so today, with AppsBuilder, we're going to talk a little bit about small, medium enterprises, why they need to develop their mobile presence, and I'm going to go over, the quick points on how to get started.
Fantastic. So while you set up your presentation, I would do like that. I will let you go into your presentation, and I will just interrupt you if there are specific questions, or I'll try to keep everything at the end. So if you want to try to set up your presentation, I just get this 20 seconds to remember to all the people connected that basically SMEs Mobile Strategy is powered by AppsBuilder, so that's great. It's not really a sponsor; is a partner, and this is the great thing about it. And just to let you know, AppsBuilder, I want to remind you that is a platform where you could create your own mobile app without being a coder, which is a great thing, because many companies, maybe they don't want to spend money or resources in hiring developers and so on, and so you have a platform that do the job for you. So that was my quick spot, quick promo for AppsBuilder, unpaid quick promo, but is really deserved. Okay, Krista, let's go immediately into this topic, and I'll just interrupt you if anything interesting come out. And by the way, into the chat you can write everything you want, and we're here to have a conversation. All right?
Great, thanks, Marco. So yeah, like you said, AppsBuilder is an intuitive app platform that allows users to create, edit, and promote mobile apps with no programming skills, whatsoever. This project was really built from the ground up in 2010, when our founders really acknowledged the shift towards mobile and really, a gap in the development market. Beginning as a marketing agency, we had a lot of requests from clients, requesting apps, and with the realization that you run into problems with resources, time, and so here was born AppsBuilder, turning a time-consuming and skill-requiring process into a simplified practice. So today we're going to talk a little bit about why your business needs a mobile presence and how to get started. So kicking it off, the mobile revolution has arrived, and mobile is a big force to be reckoned with. I think we all agree. I think that's why we're here all today. As a society, we've adopted mobile and made it an intricate part of our daily lives, whether it's searching for a local shop, finding our way in a new city, using games and social networking to connect with friends. I'm reminded sometimes of the age-old question, what would you bring with you if you were stranded on a deserted island? Back in the day, we might have said a photo album, a book, a notepad, and a pen. Today, I think we'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who's not going to say, I want to bring my smartphone with me, because true enough, our smartphones do everything. They keep us entertained, they keep us connected, and yeah, I mean, who can live without your smartphone these days? And in fact, mobile usage is growing exponentially. In the UK alone, it's doubled in the past 3 years, from 24% in 2010 to over 50% in today. Well, in the US, they've seen growth up to 61%, and these figures are just going to rise as smartphones become less costly and more affordable, and data plans propel the growth of mobile.
I like the picture of I don't know if it's your son or daughter or but I like the little baby with the phone. By the way, it's cool. I read a statistic some times ago, and it was very interesting because say that 80% of the kids under 5 years old are able to use a smartphone, and only 30% they were able to tie their shoes, so something like, or 20%. It's crazy how different was but it's just easy, and so everyone can do it.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, mobile usage is just growing at a crazy pace. So according to some recent stats, from Comcast, mobile platforms, so that's smartphones and tablets, are accounting for 60% of total digital media time spent, which is up from 50% just a year ago. We can see from the graph here that mobile is on the rise, and it's slowly replacing desktop use. We also see here that mobile apps account for more than half of all digital time spent, here in May of 2004. So, apps are growing. We're seeing here the tendency to limit our mobile browsing, using instead, news and email apps, social media apps, to discover new brands and content. So, moving forward with the idea that apps are really just beginning and continuing to dominate. We have statistics here also from Flurry, showing us that from mobile web traffic, 86% is coming from apps, and that's up from 80% over last year. So it's no surprise then that we see such a strong wave of app development and promotion on the Apple App Store, Google Play, which are the most popular avenues for getting apps into the hands of potential customers, who after all can make or break a brand, and it's their appetite for user-friendly mobile experiences that are growing and really propelling businesses to need to adapt.
That's interesting. By the way, I saw a stat from Flurry.
Yeah.
It was acquired yesterday from Yahoo for
That's right.
under $300 million. Just to give this quick news to our friends connected. Interesting. I mean, $300 million. I don't know. Maybe they are 2-3 years old company. So
yeah, exactly. And I mean, they're specialized in analytics for mobile. So it's just putting even more emphasis and focus to the fact that mobile is really a force to be reckoned with, and a lot of the big players are have been in the game for a long time, and if they're not, they're looking for new ways to really capture the mobile market. So looking a little bit into some mobile stats. As many great revolutions in the past, mobile carries along a whole new mindset. Mobile isn't just a device that we hold in our hands and carry in our pockets, but it's also a way of thinking. And people are interacting with businesses 24/7 from everywhere. So mobile has really changed the way consumers approach brands. It's changed the way companies talk to their audience and how they present their products. And it's changed a little bit about what we as consumers expect from a business, especially when we are looking at our mobile phones and what we expect to get from the businesses we love. So some of the key stats, that really show this changing nature in the mobile customer, I've illustrated here on this slide here. So back in the day, you would sit and eat your breakfast. It would be cereal and milk, or whatever. You have tea and biscuits. But the breakfast of champions now is digital. You sit at the breakfast table, you start getting ready for your day, looking at your mobile phone, getting caught up on the events in the news and what's happening with your friends. You're checking your work email. Our desire to be connected is apparent, and this is really best expressed in this, 29% of Americans are waking up and turning in at the end of the night with their mobile phones close by. We're also looking to integrate our mobile phones with the real-world experiences and engage with shops via mobile. 48% of us would like to use our smartphones while we shop in store. And we want to have mobile optimized product info while we're doing that.
Krista, sorry to interrupt you. Let me ask to the people that is here with us.
Yeah.
How many of you go to sleep with their phone the last thing they do is just check the phone before to go to sleep? And how many of you check the phone immediately when you wake up? You just check the phone to see if you got an email. I'm curious to see if you write me into the chat. I really would like to see how many of you, because I do it. I mean, the first thing that I do when I get up is probably I looking for my phone and see what kind of email I got. So it is I don't know, Chris, are you doing it?
Oh gosh, it's really the first thing I do. I mean, aside from the fact that I wake up with my mobile alarm, so that's immediately like the first thing that's in my hand as soon as I'm waking up is my iPhone, and then it's what notifications have been pushed out to me from social networks, from my email, and yeah, of course, when I'm going to bed, checking up on things, maybe watch a video, and like I said, reset my alarm for the next day.
Got it. In chat immediately, Stefano, me. Yes, I mean, I think really it's crazy. If I think, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it was impossible. Now I think, I don't say everyone, but really tons of people, they just, they always with this phone. And by the way, another statistic, just to add a little bit more to what you already said.
Yeah.
24 hours a day, a mobile phone stay for 24 hours a day at a distance that is less than 1 meter, and is the only object in the universe that stay with you for so long. You not even your baby or the love of your life or anything else stay with you for so long during the day is unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, not even the love of your life. I mean, because we can connect with them on our mobile phones. So, while we're multitasking, we can do everything. We don't need to be, have the physical barriers that are holding us, constricting us to places. We bring our smartphone along, and we have everyone in our pocket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, mobile is changing the nature of consumers. Just to touch on the last point here, we see that mobile search will result in some type of action. So this is highlighting the theory that mobile users are more likely to convert. 70% have an intention to make a purchase soon, while 50% of searches via mobile will inevitably result in a purchase. So continuing sort of with that in line, bringing it to a bit of a more local level, mobile devices are being used for local searches more and more. 94% of mobile users, use their phone for exactly that purpose. And once they do, you can see below the actions taken. 51% are visiting the store. 48%, either call a store, make some sort of a physical contact, and 29% have made follow it up with an actual purchase. So, with such figures in mind, it's easy to understand why building, a solid mobile presence is really a must, for any kind of business nowadays. You want to be found. You want to be in the hands of your consumer when they want to find you. But that being said, most companies realize that mobile is imperative, but some still aren't quite sure, how to integrate it into their business operations. In fact, we recently conducted a poll with OnePoll. And we actually were quite surprised by the results. We saw that 65% of the UK's 4.9 million small and medium enterprises currently don't have a mobile presence. In this day and age, this was, quite surprising to us, given that, probably when people are walking into their store, they're walking in with their mobile devices. They're taking pictures of the products or the services. They're getting in contact via mobile. They're searching for your company via mobile. So that's 65% still haven't quite found the way to launch a mobile presence was kind of surprising. And if that's not surprising enough, we see some of the potential lost revenues for small and medium enterprises in the UK can be up to 52.6 billion in the next 12 months alone. That's considering that 5% of purchases do come from mobile. So you're kind of just saying bye-bye to that money, which nobody wants to do, right? I mean, who would ever say no thanks to that sort of a slice of the pie? But obviously there are some clear reasons, some barriers holding back businesses, and within this poll we also asked the question to these small and medium businesses, like, what are the barriers? And we found out, through their answers that they've said, there are presumptions about the technical knowledge involved or costs or the overall benefits. They weren't quite sure that it was for them. So I mean, 46% saying a lack of technical knowledge was really, a barrier for them. When in reality, mobile is much more accessible than it ever has been. If you have a website, what I say is, you're already halfway there. Making a mobile optimized site is just, maybe rearranging some of your content. We'll talk about this a bit later, but a lot of the work is maybe already done for you. And even if you don't have a website already, there are so many resources out to help you that are, step by step, and make it really easy. Here at AppsBuilder, like I said, we offer the platform where, no technical coding or programming skills are required, so it makes it super easy for anyone really to just kick off and launch and get there without, having to have any degree in computer engineering.
So basically, Krista, you say that the companies, they don't go mobile because or they think that it's too complicated from a technical point of view, or it's too expensive, another option, or they think, well, maybe it doesn't really worth the effort, so I don't see the benefit. Those are the three main drivers that bring away companies from adopting an OS strategy.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think a lot of it is based on maybe some presumptions of the past. When mobile was first coming out, it was expensive. If you think back in 2012, anticipated costs were well over £100,000. Just get started with an app, because we were talking about these robust systems, and they were complicated and time-consuming and really resource intensive. But now it's become super easy. We've asked the small and medium businesses who do have some mobile strategy, and the majority of them are spending around £10,000 to get started, which is a fraction of the cost of what it was.
Got it. I just tell you this story, Krista. I can't resist. But the first time I went in my life, in my 15 years career of tech entrepreneur, I remember the first time I went to ask for a website. Not even an app. So it was long time ago, long hair, and I went to a company, one of those big companies in that period. I don't know if it was Commerce One, or maybe someone in chat remember this. Commerce One maybe. And I remember I was sitting down with these guys, and I said, I need a website. And they said, okay, no problem, we'll build an internet website for you. And the cost is at least 1 million, let's say 1 million euros. We didn't have euros in those time, but it was the equivalent of 1 million euros. And I said, wow, 1 million euros looks quite a lot. And they look at me like, you are really, you don't understand, this is really expensive stuff. And if I think now that you can get, a website for free at the cost is, it doesn't exist anymore for many things that you have to do, it's crazy how it's changed. And I would say also in mobile, you see this kind of trend. I mean, you guys, you are part of this trend because you are, let's say, lowering the cost and the barrier to get a mobile app, and before was much more expensive.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as with any technology, it evolves to a point where it becomes a lot simpler. The standard barriers and the tricks of the trade get passed down, and eventually it becomes a lot easier for everyone to adopt. And as people kind of hang on and grasp the technology, we start to understand what's actually necessary and can optimize and make everything more efficient.
Got it.
Yeah. So we talked about the technical, the cost. And some businesses, like you said, are still not sure if it's really worth it for them. I think some of the stats that we've already talked about really point to where the benefits do lay. But the old saying, be where your customers are. Mobile is the answer really to being everywhere. And some of the benefits that businesses who do adopt mobile presence, what they see is they've seen, that they're able to build a more loyal audience. They get additional sales channels by opening up mobile commerce, and they're gaining a significant advantage, over their competition that maybe can't be found on someone's smartphone. If someone's making the search and it's your business that's popping up, and it's your business that is offering an app that has some added value over your competition, you're gonna last a lot longer in this competitive market than some of your peers. So that's some of the benefits. And then from more of a user perspective, mobile presence of a company is affecting the reputation and brand awareness among potential customers, generating a lot more revenue. Now that mobile devices have become, a daily presence in our lives, over 60% of people, admit to preferring to interact with a brand in a new media environment, which, in 61% of cases ends up in a stronger connection with the brand itself. So, when you have that app or you have a great mobile experience, it really builds your trust in a company, versus when you kind of land on a site that your phone doesn't work, you take them a lot less seriously, I think. So companies that have a strong mobile presence and regularly interact with their customers have more chances to increase their revenue, as 59% of people admit to being more likely to purchase products and services from businesses operating mobile. So, where does this leave us? Taking away the barriers and realizing that mobile is no longer a trend, but a new way in thinking. It's evident that building a mobile presence is fundamental to the success of a business. But like I said, where do we start? A lot of businesses aren't quite sure. So this leads us into, the solution, which is really what spawned our campaign here at AppsBuilder, the Get Mobile Now campaign. It can be really easy. It can be daunting, but when you really boil it down, the process is quite easy. And even if you're going to develop a mobile site or a mobile app, the steps you're going to want to take are going to always be the same, and that's to create, promote, and engage. So you have to first start with determining who and what and why you're creating this mobile experience for. So you have to ask yourself, what are your goals? This is going to depend a lot on your business and who your customer is. You might want to consider monetization of your mobile site or application. So that's, your advertising. Do you have e-commerce? Is that something you want to integrate? And you want to think about all the other third-party integration that you maybe already have on your website. So whether that's, if you're a restaurant, maybe it's your reservation system. If you're a travel agency, it's maybe your booking Or maybe you offer a service and you want people to be in contact with you, quickly to schedule an appointment or request a consultation. So you want to consider all of the things that you want to offer your customer. What are your business goals? Then you also want to think about what your customer wants, because after all, that's who's going to be using your mobile site or your app. One of the things I like to do is maybe take a look at what content is being accessed on your website already. You take a look at your mobile traffic and see where it's dropping off, and this might help you determine and give you some key insight as to what benefits a mobile site or app can bring you. Where can you fill that gap? You might also want to get a feel for how your customer wants to engage with you and your product. For example, if trials and testimonials are important to your business, you want to ensure that your customers can easily provide feedback or connect via social media when on their mobile device. So you really want to put yourself, in the shoes of your customer. Who's going to approach you, and really think about how they want to, get to know you and then continue to have a relationship with you with their mobile phones. And then you want to think about, which features and content should be included. You want to decide the key features that you want to give your mobile users for a quick solution to their needs. You don't necessarily want to duplicate your website, but on the same hand, you don't want to be afraid to provide additional services when appropriate. Customers do really love it when a company goes out of their way to do something that's not required of them. So this could be providing some additional services like widgets, like weather forecasters, route planners, currency converters, because all of these functions might translate into more value to your app and more reasons for your customers to come back. And then finally, you want to think about the look and the feel. If you have an existing website, you probably want to mimic that to make sure that your customer knows who you are. They haven't just arrived to some other company. And you want to maybe also think about how your brand is. Maybe you want to mimic a little bit the experience you have in store. And then sometimes you could be stumped a little bit and not quite sure where to find inspiration. So one great tool that we have here at AppsBuilder is you can actually access a full load of templates that are sort of pre-built but totally customizable. To find some inspiration. So if you have a restaurant or an event, you can actually access some templates that are sort of pre-built and predefined, and then you can customize them, loading in pictures and content that really personalize the app. So after you want to create it, what you want to start doing then is promoting it. You want to help your customers find your app. Competition is fierce, and you want to adopt a multi-channel approach to stand out from the crowd and really stay top of mind among your users. So based on your business, there are several ways that you might want to distribute your app. You want to build your mobile presence across some of the most popular media at the moment, and this might include submitting it to, the Apple App Store, Google Play, Chrome Web Store. I could go into a lot of detail about different techniques to promote your app, but rather than saving you that, I'll just touch upon some of the key ones and maybe point you guys towards an ebook we have on our website, which are the 7 ways to promote your app, which really boil it down to some of the most popular and giving some cases on how businesses have found success with that. So getting to some of the key ways you want to promote your app. Think about the mobile user. They're coming to your website maybe from a search that they've done. One of the best ways to get them into a user experience that is tailored to them is with a mobile redirect. So that's They come onto your website and you get a little notification saying, this website has a mobile application. Would you like to install it? Most cases, people are going to take the time and do that because they are comfortable using apps these days, and they know that a more tailored experience is on the other side of that download. And now,
by the way, Krista, I was recently booking an EasyJet flight, and phenomenal EasyJet flight. But you have to use EasyJet for some kind of flight. They basically the only one who travel, so you are forced to do it. But the interesting thing that I saw is that their approach is, on one side they say, okay, we have a mobile app. Do you want to install it? Or they say, you could go to our mobile website. So another option. Or the worst option is just go on our traditional website. So they give you basically 3 options, and you can choose which one is the best for you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially with what we've seen in the travel industry, the mobile app is really about the booking, and it's securing your payment and making you feel really comfortable in that exchange. Versus a mobile site, you get a little bit more information, still with the same usability that you expect from getting it on a mobile platform. The traditional site on your cell phone, I would say no thanks all the time.
Yeah.
When the site's not optimized, especially on the iPhone, it means you're pinching and squeezing and trying to click on buttons that just aren't going to work. So having some sort of mobile redirect, whether it's to your mobile site or to downloading an app, is one of the key, first level things that you want to be doing in getting your traffic, immediately into a situation that they're comfortable with. Another way to promote your app is by creating a landing page. It's really a great way to get an advantage on your competitors, because you're the one who's really describing your app's unique functions, and you can drive downloads directly from this page. You can share it to your blog, your website. If you've got a mailing list with a newsletter, send it out to there and share it on social media. You can do it all and bring traffic directly there to download your app immediately. Another key in promoting your app is to share it on social media. You don't want to forget your social media followers, and it's social media plays a key role in pretty much every marketing strategy these days. It's going to increase your brand awareness and broaden your customer reach. So you want to make sure you're promoting your app wherever your customers are. So whether that's tweeting out or sharing it on LinkedIn, maybe a little case study about how it's helping your business, or even on Facebook. You can even take advantage of tools like Facebook tabs to promote your app. So this feature can allow you to display your application content in a dedicated tab right on your Facebook page. And it's a great way to integrate your app inside of a profile while making it non-intrusive, because your friends, followers have to actually click into the tab. It's not right in their face all the time. So it's an added way for them to connect with you directly from Facebook, which we're all using every day. The last one I wanted to touch upon a little bit is QR codes. Now, I think if you want to promote your app locally, I think QR codes are a great route to go. They really can bring new life to existing promotional channels. You can revitalize your printed marketing materials, put them on business cards. You send out invitations to your events. Putting the QR code there, the possibilities are really limitless. And this allows the person in the real world to connect digitally to all the great content that's maybe behind a printed marketing material that you can't put all of the content right there, right in their face. And this is maybe something for them to digest later, to look at later. And so yeah, so it's a great way to sort of bridge the offline and online experience.
I was thinking, Krista, that QR codes, they would never worked in their life, but
right.
I will reconsider my opinion.
You know, I think it's always debatable. I think where QR codes maybe don't work so much is when they're not positioned clearly alongside a clear value proposition. I think, you know, if you're putting them correctly and you're making it clear that, you know, with the QR code, scan it, download our app, and you can get X, Y, Z, which you really can't elsewhere. It really makes the user want to scan them. I think also QR codes fail when the content behind the code, you know, isn't optimized for mobile use. You know, sometimes you can scan these codes and you get brought to a site that's not optimized at all. You're not even sure what the call to action was in the first place anymore. So, you know, it's always to be used in, you know, in a marketing strategy that makes sense. Of course, you know, you have to ensure that, you know, your users are using, you know, QR code scanners, apps, but like I said, it's one of the few only ways at the moment where you can really bridge the offline and online. And depending on what stats you are looking at, I mean, you do see some increase in the adoption. And I think once maybe QR code scanners are, you know, built into, you know, your Android or your iOS systems, we'll probably see a lot more usage.
Got it.
Yeah. So create, promote, and now we need to engage our users. You know, we need to go beyond the download, as we say. You want to make you know, your business approachable. Whether it's, you know, a time-limited promotion, a product update, or, you know, updates on your marketing campaigns, you want to be able to target your customer who's on the move and push relevant content to them when they need it. So here I wanted to touch on a couple of ways, you know, you can engage your mobile app user and get them the information they want when they want it. So one of the main factors, you know, that we've seen that influence users in engaging with a company online is, you know, if they're offering incentives. So that could be, you know, special deals, discounts, coupons. You know, people who are going to download an app want to know what's in it for me. You know, and this is quite often maybe, you know, some sort of a monetary incentive. They want to know that, you know, when they open up the app, they're going to get to see the latest and greatest offers. You know, if it's the holidays, they want to know, you know, what are the, you know, the Valentine's Day specials, or what do you got going on for Christmas or New Year's. So, you know, just as though you were merchandising, you know, a store window, for example, you really want to put the emphasis on the products and services you want to feature. With push notifications instead, you know, you can push out messages to your users and let them know, you know, about incentives, whether it's, you know, we've got a 20% off sale today, come on out. And the same thing with pop-up messages. So when a user is opening your app, you might want to let them know that you have a sale going on this week, or maybe it's last-minute deals to a spa or hotel retreat. You want to greet your users, you know, with something and let them continue on to understanding the offer better. Also, you can use in-app coupons, which is something new. And that's, you know, to promote special deals that are reserved solely for app users.
All right, that's interesting. So you basically have a deal, and only if you have this app installed on your smartphone, you can see it. If you go on the website, you don't see it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the beauty with, you know, setting up maybe a separate mobile site or mobile application. You know, you can really make different offers. If it's, you know, an application, you can have a pop-up and notification coming to your users saying, you know, to thank our app users, you know, we've got this new offer just for you. And then you can either link that in with a code and have people check out immediately if it's a product, or you can have people come in store later and show the coupon, show the that you have the app, and you can use that offer then in store. So there's plenty of ways to offer incentives. It's it's really up to businesses creativity and what their needs really are. But it's definitely something that users are looking for. Another way, is you want to get local. You want to engage your customers in real time. Do you have 2 locations of your store in different cities? You might want to target your content to specific audiences. For example, use pop-ups that promote local events or features or feature products, that sell better in one market versus another market. You can also establish a geofence around your store, your actual brick and mortar store, and set up push notifications for when users are within a determined radius. I think this is really, really cool. If you're walking, down the street and it's a hot sunny day, and you're thinking, oh gosh, where's a sunny patio where I could just sit and enjoy, a cold beer and just hang out for a little while. And you turn the corner and your mobile phone starts buzzing because the notification has arrived telling you that the bar down the street has a special promotion just today. Patio's open and we've got 10% or buy one get one deal. And that's something that you were thinking of already, so you're more likely to head on over there. Again, the options and situations where you can use geotargeting and geofencing are really limitless, and there are tons of examples online. You can see what businesses are doing, and customers really latch on to this real-time engagement.
I was wondering, Krista, just a stupid thing, but I was thinking, if you have a lot of apps installed and a lot of restaurants or pubs in your street, they use this kind of stuff every 2 seconds. When you cross the street, you'll get 100 notifications on alerts that say, hey, come to get a beer with us. No, come to our place. We are 1 meter left. Definitely it will happen sooner or later when everyone will start using it, and then you'll have to change to find new ways again, or maybe to compete each other and find a way to be more competitive than the promotion of your competitors. But I would say we are far away from this scenario.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right now, it's to get a notification, you feel kind of special right now. But certainly, as more businesses really adopt and there will become more competition, it will be, up to the business to, understand where the real value is. Understand their sales cycles, or understand their traffic patterns, and really try and optimize when the user needs it most and when it's right for the business. So yeah. So the last way that I'll talk a little bit about on how to engage your user after the download is to really reward your loyal customers for frequent visits. So you can do this with offering special in-app coupons or setting up actual loyalty programs that are rewarding customers for either making purchases or checking into your actual establishment. You can also set up push notifications to remind customers that they're 1 visit away from a free gift, or maybe you want to let them know, we haven't seen you in a while, why don't you come in, coffee's on us. So there are a lot of ways where you can really capitalize on reaching out to your customer with different fidelity and reward schemes. So to recap, it seems like a simple formula, and it really is. It's create, promote, and engage. So, you know, create, you want to do your planning and develop either, you know, your mobile site or an application, depending on your needs. Promote, that's when you really want to think about how you're going to get your mobile site and app into the hands of your customers. And engage, when you focus on how to communicate with your user and moving past the download. Now, the beauty with digital is that you know, it's easy to change things around. You can mix it up and test out new approaches to optimize and improve goals you initially set out. You can take a look at your data and really see, you know, where you can make some changes. So in fact, you can even think about this process as a cycle, or rather, as I like to put it, you know, the lather, rinse, repeat. So, you know, you've done it all, and it seems like it's great, but then you can take a look and dig a little bit into your analytics and see where mobile users are clicking and what they're doing, and then you can maybe think about adding in some new content or new sections, new features. You know, you're just like a website or a social media profile. You know, apps and mobile sites shouldn't remain static. You know, the content should be changing and revolving, and talking about the latest and greatest and getting users very excited. And you also want to think about maybe new ways to promote and engage. So think of, you know, new promotions, new methods to really grow your audience. So the create, promote, and engage solution, you know, has been used by a lot of people. So I want to, you know, touch upon two short little case studies to sort of highlight the business benefits of adopting a mobile presence. So, so first up here, I wanted to talk a little bit about TechCrunch. You know, apps for events are becoming such a big thing. It's, you know, if you're having an event and you don't have an app, it's almost like what's going on. So both in terms, you know, of providing your attendees with, you know, relevant info, but you're also, you know, through an app especially, you're engaging them via social media and push notifications. So in this case here, TechCrunch Italy developed an app to offer attendees continuous updates on sessions, communicating with them in real time through push notifications. Maps and geolocalization features allowed attendees to receive relevant notices at the right time and easily move around the venue to reach different stages, while social integration contributed instead to generating a live buzz around the event. So as you can imagine, you know, a last-minute change or preview on the next speaker arrives directly to the attendees. And in this case of TechCrunch, you know, 25%. We saw a 25% increase in attendance to sessions and a 20% increase in new registrations. Also integrating their social media channels and making it easy for users to share content on social. They saw a 45% increase on interaction on Twitter, which for them was, you know, one of their main social media channels. And they saw an overall increase in the number of fans.
But don't you think, Krista, that the major impact of the app was my photo that I see there into the into the app? It's me. I spotted me.
Yeah,
that's a copyright violation here. All right.
Yeah. I mean, and that's exactly right. I mean, people see the faces of the speakers and they feel closer. They can read up on bios. You're putting all of the information right at their fingertips. All the information that they're going to need and want when they're attending your event. So yeah, in this case, you know, the impact on the business was clear. Social media, their targets for creating a buzz and increasing fans to then promote next events were right on target. So so here's one great example of how an event has used an app for, you know, with push notifications and social media integration. Yeah. Another one that I just wanted to share with you quickly is the app created for the globe, for the globe. So they offer health and fitness and nutrition information, and was designed for education and entertainment purposes from a nutritionist and fitness trainer based in Seattle in the US. So this app brings this whole fitness world to mobile users with special content like fitness gallery with videos and an events calendar. You know, all the stuff readers really want to have at their fingertips when they're thinking about, you know, how am I going to stay healthy and stay fit. So for the Globe was using features like mailing lists and push notifications to reach a wider audience and keep in touch with followers in a more effective and personal way. And having users download the app, she saw, you know, amazing returns on client loyalty and brand awareness. Also, by leveraging social sharing inside the actual app, they managed to establish themselves as a trusted point of reference for fitness tips and a healthy lifestyle, which translate into some, you know, increased revenue from her e-commerce shop, and really lifted the interactions she was seeing on social media. So another example on the impact of business and social media here with creating a mobile presence. On this slide and on the last one here, I also have a link in case you know, our viewers here are interested in reading up on some other case studies, maybe looking at some businesses that are more similar to their own, and you can access those on our website completely for free.
Right. But yeah. By the way, how many apps did AppsBuilder develop so far? I mean, thousands, hundreds of thousands? I mean,
thousands. So, you know, we're developing at a rate of you know, around 6,000 apps every month, and we've, you know, for all the apps we've created or that our users have created using AppsBuilder, it's translated into over 15 million downloads. So, you know, that's 15 million people who have apps that were created easily and you know, in no time. Yeah.
Interesting. No, because in this way you can have a lot of data to analyze and understand what works, what doesn't work, and this kind of things. So.
Yeah, it's exactly this idea of you know, it being a cyclical process. You know, you can look at your stats and maybe change it up. Maybe you want to introduce a mailing list because you really want to engage more users via email. And that's possible with apps. You can always mix it up. So so just to wrap it all up, mobile is the future. Customers are mobile. Barriers of, you know, cost and resources really don't exist anymore. And the process can be quite easy. It can be 3 steps. You know, create, promote, and engage. And then, you know, you want to repeat it. You want to keep things fresh, as they say, and always keep your customers in mind and how to engage them even more. So just to end it off, you know, there are some contacts. We've got our official blog that, you know, kind of goes over all of these points and a lot more, offering some more detail on our blog. And we also have a support forum if you want to actually get into some nitty-gritty details on how you can actually you know, integrate a lot of these features that we talked about today into an app. And yeah, follow us on Twitter.
Very good, very good, Krista. We are right in time, and thank you so much for all the questions. We'll meet with you later and during the week. So if anyone has got questions or other suggestion or whatever he wants to talk with Krista, she will be here with us for the next presentations. And by the way, in 1 hour. We'll be back with Orla Malone, the small medium business EMEA manager from Facebook. I've been talking with her yesterday to do a short preparation, and she has got a very, very interesting presentation. So just be back in 1 hour, guys. Have a coffee or a gluten-free something, as I like to say, and we meet here again in 1 hour with me, and also Krista. You'll be here with us too, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm hoping to monitor the chat and get all the questions, because I know there will be a ton. We've got a very interesting topic, so it'll be great.
Fantastic. All right, guys. See you later. See you in 1 hour.